What's up?
Sound like that guy from... No, never mind.
Alright, anyway, we're here on the Tamar River in Georgetown, North Tasmania, to dive a shipwreck. What's it called? Okay, Holly's not really on this, right?
No,
Holly's here just to make it look pretty.
For the dive.
Okay, we're here to dive the AVON Shipwreck. It's an old wooden tugboat that's sunk just behind us, out here around about 18 metres. We have to time it properly with the right tides because this river has a 3.2 metre tidal swing, which is what, 9-10 feet tidal swing? So we're just waiting for another 30 minutes, 40 minutes before we can enter and check it out. We've heard it's a really good dive spot by a local dive shop, Tasmanian Divers. Let's jump in and go see what it looks like.
I'm just here for the vibes.
And as always, subscribe, comment, like, it helps us out a lot.
We have to
See you
do
in the dive.
this again.
No, that's alright.
Hello, it's me. As useless as I may seem, I do kind of know what's going on. I know we're diving a shipwreck and I will be filming all this footage. So if the footage is incredible, comment below. Holly is the best videographer in the entire world. Actually, that's really long to comment. Just put a fish emoji. Yeah, do that. So I am useful, I promise. As useless as I may seem this morning, it's like 8 a.m. I haven't quite started functioning yet.
So trying to find information online about where you dive the site is actually really difficult. So what you're going to do is you're going to head to Georgetown, park along Adelaide Street, right next to the York Cove Hotel. At the end of the street as well, you're going to notice an animal trail that will take you down to the beach. And right here is where your entry point is for this beautiful dive. We hope this helps because man, we had a lot of difficulty finding information about where to dive this site. We were excited to be dropping under the waves to go explore the Avon Shipwreck. Now when you drop down under the waves at the beach, you're going to come through a little mini kelp forest. This is around about 3 to 5 metres. You'll continue through till you break through the forest. Then you'll reach the gradual slope, continuing down with a lot of sponges, starfish, and a lot of big boulders. When you get to your chosen depth, you're going to hook a right. Now we wouldn't say go any deeper than 18 metres, around about 16 to 17 is pretty ideal. And you're going to keep the roll on your right hand shoulder, following it along. Now one thing you have to be careful is we notice there's a lot of fishing line hanging down on the ledge. So just be aware of that. Maybe you want to take a cutting tool just in case you and your buddy get entangled. As we were continuing along, it is a fairly long swim with the reef on your right hand shoulder, and we started doubting ourselves. Are we actually going to find the wreck? And after a while, out of the gloom, we started noticing a shadow coming. And before we knew it, we'd finally found it. We found the Avon wreck. It sits upside down, as you can see here, where we're right at the propeller and the rudder at the moment. And what amazed us was the amount of a life that was on this wreck, as we got loads of little bream going past, sweepers as well, plus a lot of wrasse and snappers too. What also surprised us was the coverage on this wreck as well. There was lots of sponges, loads of starfish, a lot to see on this wreck. Now this wreck was bought by the Albany Tugboat Company in 1981 and was brought down here to do some work. Now unfortunately, ran aground in Lowhead, and what happened was they took it to York Cove where it sunk, and this is where it's rested ever since 1981. Now, as we said in the intro, you have to be very wary of the currents. We were told by Tassie divers that you can get up to 40 minutes slack, and the best time to dive this is at slack water. Now before we knew it, we could see the kelp starting to bend over and the current was already turning on us. We only got about 4 to 5 minutes on the wreck before the current turned on us. However, the way the wreck is angled, you can hide from the current. So at the beginning of the dive, we hid on the starboard side of the wreck against the wall where it was hiding us with the flow heading out to sea at the time. So it gave us a bit of protection, but once we saw the kelp start bending over, we headed to the other side of the wreck where we got to see the inside of a lot of the structure of the wreck, the engine room, and it was full of fish. We were spotting a lot of cool fish that we hadn't seen before. And there's a lot of wreckage around, including some bikes. Don't think this bike's going to be any good anymore, but we also spotted a shopping trolley as well. Now, as we know, the tide has turned on us, but we were able to use this side of the wreck to hide as the current is heading back inland now. So the tide was starting to push towards high tide. But for us that was okay, because it meant it made it easy for us to start drifting our way back towards the shore. Now the top of the wreck is around about 14 to 15 metres, with the deepest point about 20 metres. Apparently you can go down even deeper to 30 metres where there is some more wreckage, but we didn't bother. We decided that we just want to see the wreck and didn't want to go down too deep, especially when the tide was starting to pick up and get stronger. But what's really nice is you can actually start heading back up the slope from the wreck and start going under the piers to see what you can find. Now when you're tucked under the piers, you're pretty well protected from the current. We didn't feel the current as much around the piers compared to at depth. And there's a lot of cool little critters to find, including little gobies, little blennies, and even loads of little nudibranchs. You just got to look around, see what you can find, but what is beautiful when you move up here, even looking at this magpie perch, is you enter a giant kelp forest. And that's what was really cool, moving through the kelp, because there's only a few places in the world where we have giant kelp forests now, which you're going to see in just a moment as me and Holly start gliding through the giant kelp. Honestly, it was very special. It was a cool dive. Currents can be tricky, but knowing the time to enter with the tides, speak to the local dive centres to get the local knowledge, because we got the information from Tasmanian Divers and they were really helpful, giving us the relevant information so we could successfully dive this site. And it was definitely worth the little visit, and you can understand why it's a popular dive in northern Tasmania with the locals. We hope you enjoyed the dive, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys comments, sharing, it helps us a lot, and we'll see you on the next dive.
Now, yeah.